All right. So last time you teased this one, today's about the split, right? You and your wife dividing things up?
That's the one. We'll get into it right after this.
Yeah, tune in, you know the name now. Hawk picks, we running the game now. From the thrift to the flip, watch the profit stack.
Look, if you're anywhere near my age, I don't need to tell you that comfort is a big asset. You're willing to pay almost anything for good comfort. And let me just get a little bit old guy on you here for a second. When it comes to belts, I do have some thoughts on it. And I have gone through the ringer with this sort of thing. You know, recently I've lost a lot of weight, and it's been great. I feel so much better. But one of the big things that's made me feel better is the fact that I was already a user of Groove Life belts. I love Groove Life belts. I've had them since they first started coming out. And now, I mean, you can find them in local stores sometimes, things like that. I know I was at a Buc-ee's, and they had one with a Buc-ee's belt buckle. It's kind of funny. But, you know, I have about 5 of these now, and I'm actually a spokesperson for them on Reddit. And, it was easy for me to be a spokesperson for them because I use their product. And like I said, I've got 5 different sizes, different colors, meaning thickness and stuff like that for sizes. But yeah, I wear them all the time. I couldn't go back to a regular belt. You know, when you hear that click, you get a little bit of feeling of reassurance, you know. If you lose a lot of weight or gain a lot of weight, you can adjust it back and forth. You can do that with regular belts too, you know, and then you're going to get to a certain point where you're going to have to get something out and dig a hole in that piece of leather just to make it fit. You don't want to mess with that stuff. And regular belts also, they fall apart over time. I have the same Groove belt I bought the first time, which was probably about 6-7 years ago. And then I have some additional ones for various outfits, stuff like that. But take it from me, man. If you use this link that I got in the notes here, you'll be able to go check it out. You'll get a discount on it. It helps the show, all that stuff. Everybody's happy. Trust me, you're going to love it when you hear that click.
We're back. So before we get into the segments, give me the quick version. What is the split exactly?
Basically, my wife and I don't do everything the same way. I got my lane and she's got hers, and today we're getting into why that actually works.
All right, I'm into it. Let's do eating crow first, then get into the real topic.
Not too bad this time. Honestly, sales have been a bit slow lately, so there's not a lot in this pile. First one, Jack Nicklaus Golf My Way, the VHS. Bought it for $2.99 back in November of 2024. Finally sold it on July 27th, 2026 for $24.99 with free shipping.
That's a long time for a VHS tape to sit around.
It was. After $4.49 in eBay fees and $5.13 to ship it, that left us with $15.37 minus the $2.99 I originally paid for it. So our profit was $12.38.
Hardly worth the shelf space, sounds like.
Pretty much. But that was early on for me. So at least it's gone, and we didn't lose any money.
What's the second one?
Complete series of Ash vs. the Evil Dead on DVD. Bought 2 of these for $6.08 back in February, and sold one, and then this second one sold on July 31st for $29.99. Also free shipping.
Another free shipping one? Starting to sense a pattern with the slow movers.
Kinda, yeah. After $4.99 transaction fees, 99 cents and ad fees, 90 cents and ad fees, and $4.39 to ship, that left us with $19.71 minus the $6.08 that it cost originally. So our profit was $13.63.
Gone, but not exactly a highlight.
Right, that's really it for this round. Light pile, but we're on it.
Okay, now what I actually wanted to get into. So you guys don't just both do everything? That seems like it could cause fights.
It could, if we hadn't figured out a lane for each of us. I'm on media, electronics, appliances, and she's more clothing, shoes, some vintage pieces, honestly, just whatever catches her eye.
Was that planned from the start, or did it just happen?
It's pretty organic, honestly. I already had the eye for media. We talked about that in the last episode. But she started getting pulled in through stuff that she was naturally drawn to, and it just settled into place from there.
So it's not really a strict category system for her.
Not really. It's more about what she likes when she sees it than a fixed list of, this is my department.
Okay, but couldn't you both just learn each other's stuff? Why does it actually matter who does what?
Because the knowledge is genuinely different depending on the category. Pricing a vintage piece or spotting a reproduction isn't the same skill as knowing which electronics are actually worth grabbing. Condition assessment alone is a totally different game between, say, a used game console and a vintage garment.
Got a moment where one of you caught something the other would have completely missed?
Honestly, it's happened both ways plenty of times. We'll go back through a pile, the other one's already looked through, and then we'll find something they missed.
So it's not really one of you being sharper than the other.
No, I think we just work well as a team on it. We're both keeping an eye out for two things. Stuff we already know will sell for a nice profit, and stuff that just looks different somehow.
Looks different. Meaning what exactly?
Just something that stands out, even if you can't immediately place why. Having two people scanning for that instead of one just means less gets missed overall.
So it's less, she caught this, I caught that, and more that having two sets of eyes on the same two criteria is what actually makes it work.
Exactly. That's the real benefit of doing this together.
Got an actual example of one of those moments, though? Like a specific item?
Yeah, actually, the infamous bell. She found it on her own. She was at a garage sale. I was sick that day, so I didn't go. But she comes back with this thing. It's a carriage or trolley bell, and honestly, it was pretty dingy looking.
Dingy how? Like you weren't impressed?
No, not really, no. I didn't think much of it at first, but then I took it apart, I cleaned it all up. Used some barkeeper's friend on that, by the way, not a plug, just honest. And it turned out amazing looking once it was all done.
So the cleanup is what actually revealed it was worth something.
Kind of. I mean, she paid something for like $5 for it, but she knew what it was, and it sold within a few days for $350 or something in that range. Number probably goes up a little every time we tell the story.
Fair. That happens with every good flip story. But that's a real one. She spotted it. You're the one who saw what it could become once it was cleaned up.
That's the team part right there.
Got one from your side too, then? Something you're sure that she wouldn't have caught?
Yeah, the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia press kit DVD. This was back when we were just getting started, in the winter, at a thrift store. And I was going through the media section like always, and I noticed this odd-looking It's Always Sunny DVD.
Odd how? Weren't you already used to spotting that sort of thing?
Right. I'd seen the regular DVDs and Blu-rays of all the seasons plenty of times, so I knew what these looked like. But this one was different. I pulled it off the shelf and there was no UPC on the back.
So that told you it wasn't something that was ever actually sold in stores.
Exactly. Did a little digging, figured out what it actually was. It's a disc that Fox Network handed out to executives to screen the first few episodes, plus some behind-the-scenes stuff and cast interviews. But it had not for resale printed all over it.
But people were still selling them.
A few were, for a pretty hefty price. I didn't hit some crazy $1,000 sale on it, but I bought it for $2.13 and sold it for $300.
That's a massive multiple on $2. And yeah, I'd bet you wouldn't have clocked the missing UPC as a red flag like that.
Doubt it. Honestly, that one's pretty specific to knowing the category straight up.
So volume-wise, how does it break down? Media and electronics feel like they move a lot, but maybe for less per item?
That's fair. I mean, my side tends to be higher volume, faster turnover, generally lower margin per piece. Her side's fewer items, but bigger swings. Some are duds, some are real hit, on both of our sides.
So who's actually making more, month to month?
Honestly, it depends on the month. I mean, some months mine wins on volume, some months she hits one piece that blows everything else out of the water.
Is there any gray area? Stuff that could go to either of you, or something you've disagreed on?
Honestly, not really much gray area at all. She's got the eye for clothing and footwear. I've got the eye for media, electronics, appliances, that kind of thing. It's a pretty clean split because of that.
So it's less who calls this one, and more that you're each just naturally drawn to different stuff. So it rarely even comes up.
Right. The specialization kind of takes care of the overlap problem on its own.
Sounds like the split's less about dividing labor and more about actually knowing what you're looking at.
That's the real version of it, yeah.
All right, let's get into the feathers. What's been working?
Solid stretch here, even with things a little bit slower overall. First off, Brahma steel toe work shoes. Brand new with tags. We bought them for $5 at a thrift store in March. We sold them on August 4th for $30 plus shipping on an offer. After fees and a little shipping wiggle room, we landed at $19.96 profit.
Right around your usual target.
I'm pretty much dead on. Next one's fun. A Fuji-chan Mount Fuji plush coin purse. I found this at a garage sale for 25 cents.
25 cents? Like a quarter?
A literal quarter. Sold it for $29.99 plus shipping. After fees, $26.07 profit. Ships in a poly mailer, so that's really about as easy as it gets.
What a wild return on a quarter investment.
Can't complain. Next, one of the OEM Mopar tire inflator kits. Bought 3 of these to test how they'd move. So they were all $20, $19.99 I think. Sold this one for $54.99 plus shipping. We ended up netting $26.45 after all the fees.
Over target once again.
I just barely, but I won't be buying more. They need all these crazy hazmat labels on the box and paperwork you got to fill out. It's just a total pain.
Worth it once, not worth repeating. What else?
The official Netflix licensed Stranger Things backpack. I bought this for $2 back in November. Finally sold it on July 26th for $31.99 plus shipping. After fees, $26.56 profit.
Finally again. Sat around a while?
It did sit around a while. Honest answer, that one's half win, half a relief. I'm glad to see it finally move out.
Sounds like a little bit of fly the coop mixed in there too.
Basically, yeah.
What's the last one?
And the big one, Converse Chuck Taylor knee-high boots or shoes, black with straps. Bought 5 pairs of these back in April for $43.78 each. 2 more have sold since I last talked about these. Size 8 sold in early July. Size 6.5, 6.5 sold a couple weeks later. Both of them sold for $159.99 each.
That's a huge jump from the other stuff.
After fees, $99.25 profit on the first pair, $97.57 on the second. All told, across everything so far, we're about $400 in against a $218.90 initial cost. 1 pair left, size 7, if anyone's looking.
What made you grab 5 pairs of the same shoe in the first place?
Honestly, it's just a hunch they'd move well, and I'm glad it paid off.
So, bigger picture on the split. Anything you tell someone trying to figure out their own version of this with a partner?
Yeah, just play to whatever you're actually drawn to. Don't force a 50-50 split just because it sounds fair on paper. The real system is knowing who's got the eye for what.
That tracks with everything you said today. All right, that's the split. Thanks for listening, everybody.
And hey, if you want to treat yourself, check the link in the show notes for a Groove Life belt. See you again soon. Please rate and review.
We got the hot finds, hawk picks, leaving the rest